Wrestling with New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 bracket reveal. It was the other day that they revealed the brackets for New Japan's G1 Climax. We're back to before we get into the participants, we're back to a two-block a format with 10 wrestlers each. Don't necessarily think you could have did the Dirty 2 gimmick that they've been doing the last 2 years. I don't know if you were able to see what was happening in New Japan with the brackets yet, Kaliko. But what are your thoughts that it went back to a two-block 10-man tournament?
It's twofold. They don't have enough talent to fill a 32 block, and it goes back to tradition, right? Like, because as much as the 4 block was fun, it didn't give you that every match kind of was important feeling.
Right.
The 2 block makes everything important. It makes every match with every person important.
Let's not forget that they are doing a tournament to enter the tournament.
That's right.
For the final
Yes.
spot.
I don't know how I feel
Please don't let Yoshihashi win it. Just don't let it.
I mean, I think it's really weird that Vladimir Kozlov is in this.
I'm surprised that Tanahashi isn't as in that little tournament to get into the tournament. I mean, he's literally the president. All he has to say is, "I want to be in this."
Man, it's to show that he's about to pull some shit out his ass. Either that or 50-50 TJP's like, fuck this.
I mean, TJP is cruiserweight, so he's forfeit for this.
He was originally announced, and then he was placed into the qualifier tournament.
Yeah, he's in the qualifier tournament.
That's so weird.
It is.
But if you've seen the brackets, this is a pretty weird tournament so far. Let's get into it. Block A. First name Shota Umino. Makes perfect sense. He's your next Tanahashi. Needs to be in the tournament. Kaliko?
Yep, makes sense. He needs to be in the tournament.
Scooter?
I mean, considering Takagi is part of the this year's Owen Hart Memorial Cup, I'm afraid Takagi is going to get
burnt out.
He's going to fall to the wayside.
Well, we'll get to Takagi when we get to Takagi. Second name in Block A, Tetsuya Naito. Naito hasn't done anything since losing the belt to Moxley. He wasn't doing a lot when he was champion as well. I mean, Dominion, the second biggest show of New Japan, their SummerSlam, he wrestled Colin Newman. I mean, who the fuck cares about Colin Newman?
Well, that's on New Japan I would have thought they learned their lesson giving belts to AEW cats that's got to go overseas and do like other contractual obligations. Right. But for some odd reason, that lesson just seems to never be learned.
You mentioned it, Shingo Takagi. In double tournaments, he's a big, strong boy. I think he could handle it. Agree, disagree, Kaliko?
I mean, he'll do. I mean, he'll be a tough out, that's for sure.
Interesting name. I don't know why it's interesting, but Sonata, former champion. hasn't won this tournament yet. Maybe a potential W here. Honestly, I have no idea what he's been doing since he's lost the championship, but maybe it's
Falling by the wayside. The Sonata slaughter.
Any comments on Sonata, Scooter?
It's a great car to drive.
Great O'Con. I don't see him doing anything important in this. If you asked me 2 years, I would have said, yeah, he's going to be up there. But 2 years, the last 3 years, he's done absolutely positively
nothing.
Yeah. ZSJ, Zack Sabre Jr.
50-50 himself.
Exactly. He'll do well, but not well enough to actually get in there. I mean, he'll be in the running, but he'll get eliminated at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
ZSJ, interesting fact, his eighth entry and his eighth consecutive.
Yeah. Mr. Consistency. While also being 50-50. Alright, next name, Gabe Kidd.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't necessarily do anything last year in the tournament. Just made a lot of chaos, a lot of noise, but not a lot of impact. You see that changing, Kaliko?
I mean, they'll have that one where he kind of gets over on somebody. The question is who.
What?
Because when you look at this list in Block A, and that was the best thing about it too, because Block A or Block B, you could tell what was Murderer's Row, and Block A seems to be more Murderer's Row this year than Block B, barely, but we'll get to that later.
Usually, whatever Block Okada's in is Murderer's Row.
No, because Okada would eliminate half the block fucking before the fucking thing.
I mean, he was the Murderer.
Okada's up in this bitch. Okada snap his fingers, fucking taking half the field off. Shit.
But no, I get what you mean. There was the Okada block, which was, he was going to win, and then you had the Murderer's Row, which was all the big names. But there doesn't seem to be a lot of big names in New Japan right now.
Not really.
That being said, Jake Lee.
Yes, exactly. Next.
Evil.
Interesting.
I mean, when's the last time Evil's done anything significant? Just in life, I mean.
Well, it's not about the interesting, but I can see a three-way tie into past, present, and future with Naito, Sonata, and Evil. In this, I can see a storyline going through there, like a through line. So that is what I'm looking for to see if New Japan's going to call that back. Because keep in mind, remember, Sonata lost the belt to Naito. Evil tried to come in and bust a move, and Sonata actually helped Naito.
Oh, that's right.
So that's why I said it's interesting to see if they call that back in this story.
Yeah. And I mean, last year in the tournament, he did beat Sonata in the semis, I believe. So,
Yep.
he is able to cause a little chaos when he's able. A Block as a whole. A Block as a whole.
A Block as a whole.
What are your thoughts on it, Kaliko?
Like I said, I mean, Scooter brings up a good point with Takagi. I think he's going to get burnt out because he's going back and forth. Um, if you're looking at this block, you're looking at the heavy hitters that could be the winner. I'm thinking Naito, Sonata, Evil, Zack Saber. Those are like the four that are like that could actually take this block. And Evil would have to do it by taking out Naito and Sonata. So that's where I
No Shota?
Zack Saber Jr. He's 50-50. So
No,
Shota, it's only Shota if they're trying to portray him as the guy to unthrone Moxley. But that would mean Moxley would have that belt literally till fucking Wrestle Kingdom. Which, based on his schedule and how fucking New Japan just don't give a fuck and give him the Brock Lesnar schedule, it might be. it, it might be at that point. Like, so, I mean, he has a shot, but I just think if they're going with him being the next guy, him not barely winning this block is gonna do it.
it's tricky. I kind of feel like they would give it to Shota. I feel like a lot. Zack Sabre takes a W on Shota, so Zack gets some kudos. Maybe you see Shota and Sonata in the semis against each other. I
Well, it depends on who's in that final block because you got to also remember they still have to pick between Ishii, Yoshihashi, Newman, Kenta, Chase Owens,
right.
and Takahashi. I don't see Yoshihashi. Thank God they got his ass out of the tournament because he looked disinterested for the last 10 years.
Oh yeah.
But Ishii is funny, is interesting because he was always a tough out.
Right. He always got a couple of W's.
Yeah, he was able to get a couple dubs. Chase and Kenta, if he's in it, he could run through it and be a dark horse.
I feel like if that was the case, it would have happened.
If that was 2 years ago,
yeah.
It would have happened when he got back, and that's what I would have thought. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. So that's the story. So the story is either going to be redemption for Sonata and Naito, but I don't see Naito win. Naito because he had his redemption at Wrestle Kingdom. Sonata needs the redemption because he doesn't want to look like a one-hit wonder. So Umino is the future. So they kind of got to, he's got to show that his time is now. And Zack Sabre Jr. will be consistently inconsistent.
Right. And normally I would agree with you with Sonata, but then again, they've been so inconsistent with him when it comes to keeping him on one track. And when he does actually win something, it feels like it's out of fucking nowhere.
And then they set his ass up just to get his ass throwed.
Right.
But anyways. So we'll see. We'll see from that one. We'll see from Block A. But those are the four that I'm looking at. Naito, Sonata, Evil, Zack Sabre Jr. Umino could pull it out of his ass, but whatever.
I'm going to narrow it down even. I'm going to narrow it down. I'm going to say Shota, Sonata, and you know what? Fuck it, Zack. Those are my top three picks.
What? I mean, yeah, they usually have the one Gaijin that kills, but, you got to look at Block B because it looks like Gaijin Row up in that bitch. So, hey, let's get Block B.
First, Scooter, who are your top 2 to 3 picks of who should win A block?
Who should win A block? Well, if it's a block of cheese, I don't think Naito needs another. And Takagi, Sonata, Umno, and Great Khan.
Okay. Let's get into B block. First name, El Phantasmo. I feel like they would give him a good bit of shine just because he's the last remaining babyface Gaijin that they have at this point.
At this point, yep.
Yeah.
Feels like everybody's a heel over there.
Unless they drop him, unless they just decide to drop him the fuck out like Juice Robinson. So I mean, it's a
No, that was Juice chop. Juice was getting broke backed up in that bitch. He was they knew what he was doing.
I feel like they could go either way with it, but I feel like they would give him maybe something just to say, you know, Gaijin, thank you for being here as a face. Something like that. Surprisingly already in the tournament, Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi's partner. Literally just to fill a spot at this point. Kaliko?
Former winner, so I guess they're giving him the shot. I mean, he could pull it out of his ass. We've seen him pull shit out of his ass before.
Usually you need Pepto to do that.
Oh gosh.
Scooter, any comments as of now?
No.
Very interesting name, Yoda Tsuji. I feel like when it comes to stars that could be stars for New Japan right now, it's fucking Yoda Tsuji. If they do it right, he can be the biggest star New Japan has produced in the last 10 years. Maybe more than...
Bullshit. Not more than Naito.
But I mean, that's how they're gonna do it, if they do it right. I'm not sure if he's gonna win this block, especially considering he won the New Japan Cup. But,
yeah, it's very rare that the New Japan Cup winner goes and wins the G1.
Right. So
in the same year.
I feel like he'll do something, but he won't be popping off. Kaliko?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the fact he's got that curse winning the New Japan Cup. It's very rare to see the win both. That's like Alberto Del Rio when he won the Royal Rumble and the Money in the Bank.
In the same year?
It's like, god damn, bro. In the same year, so it ain't happening in New Japan. Although, you know.
Yeah. Alright, next name, Yuya Uemura. I can't imagine that he wouldn't take a W on Tsuji, considering the last time they wrestled, he took his hair. So there's some revenge there. I don't necessarily see... I mean, he could be a dark horse, if I'm being completely honest. He could do something if we give him...
Based on this block, it's wide open. This is a wide ass open block when you look at the names.
I mean, you might be right. The next name is Jeff Cobb. Cobb has been the what's the name? The Kaichu, the big bad Kaichu in this tournament for the last couple of years. Not an easy out. But
I think he could win it.
Really?
When you look at it, he's the guy that stands out. so far.
Mm, well, we're coming up to a couple names, I would say as well. Uh, Honori is not one of them.
Yeah, he's not one of them. Next,
David Finlay, um, leader of the Stray Dogs or the Raw Dogs or the dogs that
the
are dogs.
whatever the fuck,
Yeah,
dogs of for all the dogs. I don't know, but
yeah.
nope,
Huh?
doesn't scream winner to me.
You know, it's just weird because they gave him the victory over Moxley and Osprey, but then the next month they had him lose to Dolph Ziggler. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
That's my fucking point. That's the point. Like, it's almost like they're looking for that gaijin that can connect with the fans like Kenny Omega, and it ain't happening. And but the problem is Kenny Omega was 1-on-1, the guy that was a bad guy, but would connect with the crowd because he's of the culture in the crowd. All the gaijins here feel like it. The gaijins that are there, they're there, not saying that they're not happy to be there, but it just seems like that they're not immersed in it deeply the way a Kenny Omega was immersed deeply in it, if that makes sense.
And it's it's not, and you're all right about all of that, but I also feel like they don't give Gaijins the chance to get over with the crowd. It's always 50-50 booking when it comes to Gaijins. We'll give you this one win here, but then we'll make you look shit over here by doing this to you. It's never, consistent booking. It's always
Mhm.
50-50. So how are you supposed to make a
That
valuable player if you don't give them the option to run with the ball?
I think that's a whole nother dynamic because of the fact of Kenny leaving. So they're scared, oh, I'm gonna make you my biggest star just to leave. So I mean, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But
Hmm.
I don't see Finlay winning it, the block, anyways.
I don't see Rito winning this one either. He kind of
Nope.
fell to the wayside.
See,
And then we have the interesting, the Forbidden Door name, the name that everybody's interested to say. Um, called Katsuka Takeshita is making his New Japan G1 debut. Scooter, I'm sure you're ecstatic.
Yes, Kanasaki Takeshita, a number one. Actually, no, he's more like a number two.
Couldn't agree more, Scooter. Yeah, he's not winning this.
you know what? When you look at this block, he's got a better shot than most.
Um, yeah, you're not wrong, but
he's got a shot. He's got a shot.
he's a
Because I don't see the only way I could see him not winning that block is if in the tournament the following names win it: Tanahashi or Taichi. If one of those two win it, I think Taichi. If Taichi win it, I think he's winning the block. I feel like he's the type of dude that could run through it.
he's too inconsistent, I'd say. He gets too
But that's the
tired.
point.
He doesn't have the New Japan strong style drive to get through the whole tournament, I would say. Even he said that. Um, the names that stick out to me is Suji, Cobb, Yuya, I'd say. Yeah, Yuya Uemura, and I think the rest are just filling a spot. What about you?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, if I had to pick the four that I'm looking at, because this honestly, Block B is wide open. I would say Jeff Cobb, Takeshita, Tai Chi. Those are the only three I could see winning it. Maybe Finlay if he swindles his way, but I don't. It's either going to be Jeff Cobb looking dominant, Kanusuke being motivated because he's already feeling like he's forgotten anyway, Tai Chi finally getting his shit together. So those are the only three I can see like happening.
So I agree. Jeff Cobb looks dominant. Um, that's why he would win. Suchi, because like I said, Suchi can be a star if you give him the ball. Um, and Yuya as a dark horse, like holy shit, I didn't see this guy coming to win this. Um, I feel like he could do it if they give him the chance and look good doing it. Um, what say you, Scooter? Who
Uh,
who are you looking at B block?
in I think honestly it might be Phantasmo's breakout year.
Hmm. Well, I mean, we could hope, but hope hasn't got us a lot in the G1.
Yeah.
Is that the only name you got?
Um, I mean, other than that, okay, I'd make the case for David Finlay. With Ren Narita pulling up the rear at a very, very far behind distance.
Okay. So I'm gonna say your G1 finals is Shota Umino versus Yota Tsuchi, and Shota wins the whole shebang. Kaliko?
Oh, the finals, man. Shit. I'm gonna say Sonata versus Tai Chi. Tai Chi wins.
Scooter?
Becomes the first person to win the tournament from the block tournament to the winner.
Hmm. Scooter?
Um, we're talking about the qualifier block.
The winner of the B block, the winner of the A block. A block and B block, the finals of the whole tournament. Who are the two combatants from A block and B
Okay.
block?
It will be. I would say Great Khan and God dang it. What the, oh my God, I forget what I just said.
Great
Shingo,
O'Con.
Great O'Con. You know what? Screw it. Great O'Con, El Phantasmo.
Okay. Well, it will be interesting to see how everything plays out since there's no big stars in this G1. Okada is not going to be in it for the first time since 2013, I want to say, 2012 possibly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's wide open for literally anybody. And you know, that actually makes things a little bit more exciting, if I'm being honest. You know, new era. So we will see how that develops. Until then, we will conclude this our coverage of the G1 bracket reveal and this episode as a whole. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Tuesday as we join us this Monday as we interview Ozzy Blaze, this Tuesday as we interview Brian Anderson, and this Wednesday as we interview Evan Golden. And join us next Saturday for a preview of Forbidden Door, God help us, and whatever else happens in pro wrestling. Until then, you can follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on Xthread and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kaliko?
I am Kaliko, popping out my, or as they say, gotta pop out and show niggas in my Juneteenth voice. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogie. Never mind. I will be singing the whole time. Just don't mind me.
And where can we find Scooter?
As always, find me on X at Scooter Dust, and that's pretty much about it.
Alright. For Kaliko Yachts and Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.